Welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. For our radio audience tuning in at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, we're glad that you all can be with us. Also tuning in online worldwide via our podcast at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music. We're glad you all could be with us as well. For those who are thinking about the power of words and what all of us can do no matter what our age, this next book and conversation is something I think you guys are going to really enjoy. We're excited to welcome best-selling author Ashley Woodfolk as well as acclaimed actress Lexi Underwood to our broadcast today. They've come together to give us a great book, a story that centers around a character named Jordan Jones, but the book is something that all of us can be able to relate to. It's called Louder Than Words. We're going to talk to Ashley and Lexi not only about the writing of the book, but also what it says about collaboration, coming together, and the difference that all of us can be able to make if we're willing to put it forth to work. If you guys are just now hearing about the book, of course we'll let you know how to get your own copy of it. Thanks to the two of you for the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having us. We're happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, the pleasure is definitely all mine. Ashley, I want to begin with you. I mean, there are some great conversations already taking place around Louder Than Words. What has it been like for you already to see the way that people of all ages are responding to the book?
Yeah, I am a bit of a seasoned author here. I've been writing for a few years, have a bunch of books out, and it's always really exciting when a book gets that early buzz and people get excited about it right out the gate. I'm not super surprised just because Lexi's idea was so strong even before we came together to develop it even more. So I'm not surprised that people are reacting to it the way that they are. But yeah, I'm just excited for it to be in the world and for everybody to have a chance to read it, to hopefully continue this excitement and this buzz that has already started.
Love that. Lexi, that's a great segue then to you. I mean, people know you, of course, for the work you've been able to do as an actress. What has it been like for you to see the way that people are responding to the book Louder Than Words?
Yeah, it's really incredible. It's kind of a surreal feeling. It definitely was a thing that, I've wanted to do for so long, becoming an author, but I definitely didn't I could do it like right now. I didn't expect to have a book coming out at the age of 20, and especially with this being my first book and it being received just so well. It really makes me happy and makes me really more motivated also to hopefully continuously write more books in the future.
Yeah. So, Lexi, let me continue that with you then. What was the spark that kind of led to this story that became Louder Than Words?
The spark that led to the story that became Louder Than Words, I definitely would say, is just my own experience as a middle schooler and a high schooler. I graduated just a couple of years ago, so all of those feelings and things that I went through in high school are still very fresh. I wanted to write a story that I felt like me and my peers could relate to, or also just of other generations people could relate to. They could see themselves in Jordan. But especially now for younger kids that are going into middle school and high school, for them to understand that these are all the complexities that come with the high school experience. I think with Jordan specifically, you see a young girl who has fallen down a couple of times. She's definitely made mistakes. But when she enters this new school, she's absolutely 100% ready to step into her redemption arc and her redemption era. But, with that, things are hard because perfection does not exist. And redemption is a thing for sure, but it also doesn't come as fast as you think that it does. You have to be able to regain one's trust and just do things to show up in your authentic being. And I think that for me specifically, as someone who was an overachiever and a people pleaser and that, always wanted to be perfect, this story really helped me feel seen, feel heard, and also just helps me have more perseverance, hope, and faith that Jordan does in this book, that, everything will be okay in the end. If you keep pushing through, everything will be okay. And so that was my biggest takeaway from it. That was the thing that I wanted people to take away from it. So as soon as I was done writing it, if that's what I took away from it, then I felt like, all right, we did our job. So just the way in which it's being received right now just makes me really happy because I felt like we did that in a pretty good way.
Yeah, love that. Ashley, I think the last book I read of yours was Nothing Burns as Bright as You. And as with that book, when I thought about Louder Than Words, the thing is you're able to really bring us into the characters, really get to know them. What was it like for you to get to slip into Jordan's skin and to look at the world the way that she does and her journey of being able to not only see what she can be able to change, but also be able to accept the things that she couldn't.
First, I just want to say thank you so much for reading my book. So I think I've always been like a very character-driven writer. I think the first step for any novel that I'm working on is to have a really deep understanding of the characters. So when Lexi and I first started working together, that was one of the first things we did was we really went through all the characters and developed who they were, what they looked like, what their likes and dislikes were, because that's really important to me. And I think once I understood who Jordan was as a character, Lexi and I had really put a lot of our characteristics into her. We were both people pleasers. We were both these perfectionists. And once we understood that that was who Jordan was, it made sense that when she came to this new school, she would want to completely forget about the mistakes that she made and sort of like her darker past. I think that was what was also important to us was really making sure that her redemption felt earned. And so in order for her to reach, the place where she is at the end of the novel, she had to really accept that she wasn't perfect, and that's a really difficult thing for a perfectionist to accept. But I think that was really important to Jordan's journey, and slipping into her skin that way was really easy because that is a similar journey to my real life.
Love that. I want to talk to two of you about something that to me was a big theme as a reader myself. And, of course, for our audience, the book is available this week. It's already, I should let our audience know before the actual release date, already a top 100 bestseller on Amazon. So congratulations to the two of you on that. But, Ashley, I want to begin with you about this idea about truth, but also, of course, being able to share your own truth your way. And I want to talk about it the way you guys address the podcaster. And I want to read something from the book and have both of you talk about it. And Ashley, I'll start with you. And here we have Jordan kind of realizing something that's very important, and that is when it comes to the truth and what is out there, that we can take control of our own story. You guys wrote this. The podcaster could always make things up like they had done before, or arbitrarily assign secrets from the site to kids they decided to target. But with so many secrets populating the page, my hope was that they'd have less sting and would be less scandalous if it wasn't the first time anyone was seeing or hearing about various transgressions. And then you go on to say this, and I think this is the big thing. I'm surprised by people's willingness to be open, by the freedom with which they're letting themselves be known. This was my hope when the idea for the mural first came to me, doing something to make the podcaster feel powerless, or at least a little less powerful. I want to talk about that because so many times, and both of you know this being in the public, being able to get attention, that it's so easy for people to create their own narrative about you. How important was that for you guys, starting with you, Ashley, to have Jordan take control of her own story and to be able to show others how they could do that too?
Yeah, I think very early on in the story, Jordan's mom says something to her like, people can say whatever they want, but it's up to you to show them. And that is where the title of the novel came from. It was actually our editor's idea to use louder than words. But I think that is a theme that definitely goes through the whole novel, where you want your actions to be louder than the words that other people are telling about or saying about you. I think taking control of your story is such a big, important part of growing up, and it's also something that you sort of have to learn how to do. And it's a really difficult thing to do as well, because people are always going to talk about you, no matter who you are, no matter how old you are. There's always going to be outside opinions, and at a certain point, you have to decide that you know who you are, and you have to take control of your story, regardless of what else is being said about you. You have the possibility, or you have the ability to do something different and to align your behavior with who you feel that you really are. And so that was what we wanted to do. We wanted to make sure that Jordan was doing, even if she wasn't doing it at the start of the story. That was sort of the shift that had to take place in order for her to end the novel where she ends. And Lexi, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just piggybacking off of everything that Ashley said, I think that there's just so much power in, subtly taking your power back, not necessarily stooping down to the other person's level and fighting hate with more hate. I think that the way in which Jordan and her friend group decides to tackle this issue is something that a lot of people can actually learn from. I think that there's just so much power in, because in their case, technically, especially they weren't going to, come out and say anything. So I think there's also like power in silence and power in just like letting things speak for themselves. And in this case, the mural speaks for itself. And the way in which it all unfolded is how it was supposed to. But I think that if we would have wrote or chosen a different route of them confronting the podcaster head on or spreading rumors or doing the same thing that they were doing, stooping down to their level, then it definitely easily could have been a different story and a different ending. So I think that a lot of people can take away, just from the way in which they handled that specific thing and also just every other challenge or adversity that they face in the book.
Such a great point, and so many great layers of this book. I'm so glad to be able to discuss a few of them with you all. Again, everyone, we have Ashley Woodfolk as well as Lexi Underwood discussing their brand new book, again, already an Amazon bestseller, Louder Than Words. It's available this week, so make sure you guys make plans to get it, either through our friends at Amazon or through your favorite local bookstore. Ashley, Lexi, thank you all so much for the time. Really appreciate it. Congratulations to you guys on a great book. How can our audience stay connected with you, Lexi?
Thank you. You all can stay connected via Instagram or Twitter, now X, I guess. My @ is Lexi Underwood on all platforms, so you can find me there.
All right. Ashley, what about you?
I'm at Ash Writes on Instagram and Twitter.
All right. Well, Ashley, Lexi, thank you again, and looking forward to our next chat together.
All right, us too. Thank you so much.
More than welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, and we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live, and let's go make today amazing. Take care.